Ooh, welcome back to the Boneyard podcast, everybody. This is your host, Jared Sheffield, along with my good friend,
Artemis Brower.
We're coming to you this week with episode 259. 259. Artie,
Talk to me.
how we doing, man?
We're good. We are good. We working, taking care of family, trying to maintain, trying to live. We're good.
Good, man. Good. It's good to see you, Josh. Good to see you behind the scenes. Artie, episode 259.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a 59?
I do have a 59, kind of going along the theme of those random nuggets that you like to give in hockey and baseball. It's a football player, but just a random guy that nobody would ever think of. Probably has ever gotten any flowers or any shout outs on any type of platform, like a podcast or a sports center or whatever it may be. But that is one John Kondo. All right, long snapper of the Oakland turned Vegas Raiders. Shout out to John Kondo. Played 11 years in the league as a long snapper. Was an undrafted free agent out of Maryland back in 2005. Had a hell of a career as a long snapper. One of the positions that I wish I would have focused on, I would have transitioned to. You know what? I want to go D1, not going D1 as a running back. Let me just be a long snapper. What is it going to take to be a placeholder, to be a long snapper? Let me just make a career out of this. Should have transitioned. Didn't do it. Could have been an 11-year long snapper in the NFL. Sitting on my royalties, but it's all good. Shout out John Kondo.
You think you could have been a long snapper in the NFL?
I absolutely think I could have been a long snapper in the NFL. If I started back in high school, it was like, you know what? I'm putting all the chips in on long snapper. Like, we're betting it all on black. Everything in the center of the table, long snapper.
I feel like being a specialist, maybe one of the hardest positions.
It should be difficult.
But it's difficult to like get in because look, if you're good at being a long snapper, good at being a punter, a good kicker, you can have a long career. I mean, you look at these guys, Matt Bosher, Adam Vinatieri, like the kickers, but like same goes for snappers. Like, I mean, especially now, there's a lot of rules in place to protect them, where they shouldn't be getting hurt, and the only time they're out there is most of the time for that one play.
I mean, but just think about it though. Like, you're talking to your neighbor out in Malibu. He's got a mansion on the coast. It's like, hey, what did you do for a living? I was a long snapper in the NFL for 11 years. That's how I can afford this lifestyle. Could have been great.
What's the I wonder what the average salary for a long snapper is.
Well, look, we know base salary is $435,000, 475.
Yeah,
that's the league minimum. Is $400,000. So,
all right. I'm gonna go. There's a couple guys that could go this way. I'm gonna go by. We're gonna go Jake Gensel.
Never heard of
War number 59, or where's number 59? I should say. Played for Pittsburgh. 2 years ago was the big time trade piece that the Hurricanes brought in at the trade deadline. War number 59. They couldn't sign him as a free agent. Got a little bit better contract in Tampa last year. Went down to Tampa. Now he's with the Lightning in his second year with them. Played a total of 17 games with the Hurricanes, in which he had 8 goals, 17 assists for 25 points. Would have been he wanted to be here. The Hurricanes just couldn't make the money work. They were strapped for salary cap space, and it just didn't work out. Wish he could be back in Carolina, but he's got I believe an 8-year deal with Tampa now. So, yeah, that's my 59. Jake Gensel.
Love it.
All right, Artie, around East Carolina, we're gonna breeze right through it. Then we're gonna talk ECU Tulane a little bit. Soccer, After Thursday's 2-0 home win over Temple, the Pirates struggled to slow UAB scoring in the second half of the away match. A red card late in the match on starting forward Caitlin Starr Dolan Boudrum. That's a mouthful. We'll have the sophomore sitting out next Sunday's high noon home match against the undefeated Memphis Tigers. Always one of the better teams in the conference. Volleyball, they sneak out of Philadelphia with a 3-2 win over Temple, followed by a 3-1 loss on Sunday at home to FAU. Pirates hit the road once again as they face the Mean Green out of North Texas on Friday at 7 and UTSA on Sunday at 2 o'clock. ECU basketball, ECU or American Conference basketball media days are going on right now. Pirates were picked to finish 10th already. 10th in the league on the men's side, 7th on the women's side. Jordan Riley, the senior guard for ECU, was picked to be first team all conference. On the women's side, there were no honors listed. All right, ECU Tulane, Artie.
Yeah, I guess we gotta talk about it. Let's go ahead and do it.
I was just doing. We're gonna have the Golden Hurricast podcast on here in a little bit, who covers Tulsa. But we were talking about this game. ECU should have won that game. They could have very well won that game had they had any offense in the first half. We've said that now. The 3 games they've lost, they've gone quiet on offense. Couldn't get anything going. They were slow to start. They made adjustments, but it was too little too late. And I say that, and they were still able to take a lead and have a lead late in the fourth quarter. But then you just couldn't close it out. Asking too much of the defense to close that game out.
Yeah, I mean it obviously we've done this song and dance plenty of times before. We've seen this movie 1,000 times. We keep showing up paying the fee for admission. And we keep seeing the same movie over and over again. But it just seems like this offense is only potent against inferior competition and inferior defense. But when you put a big boy in front of them, it almost feels like they forget how to actually move. And then we have the athletes. It's really no excuse. It's not that the offense is not good enough to move the ball up and down the field or score points. We just don't capitalize. That game, to me, in a nutshell, was Tulane going back to their locker room after that game. Holy shit, we got a game we shouldn't have had because we played really bad tonight. We played bad football. That was a trap game at home. East Carolina had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 opportunities to get us, and they didn't get us. Wow. Because if I'm John Summerall, and the way he was pissed after that game, I would have been pissed. They didn't play good. They did not play a buttoned-up, good football game. They played sloppy. They got away with a win. And they should be thrilled because there's a lot for them to work on, even in a win. And we should be pissed off ourselves because they gave us an opportunity multiple times in that game, and we just did not take the opportunities that were given to us.
No, I agree. It's at some point, East Carolina has to figure out how to win these games. Where, look, maybe you're not the better team on paper. I think it's pretty damn close in a lot of aspects. The play calling was not great in the first half, but also I think Tulane came out doing some things that ECU probably wasn't expecting early on, and then they made adjustments. You saw that those first 2 drives, Kane Hauser got sacked twice. He'd only been sacked 4 times all year. So I think Tulane's defensive front was doing some things that were not expected by ECU. But at the same time, this was the first time in what felt like forever where ECU had every break that could possibly go your way went their way. We're always talking about how the breaks are going feel like they go the other way. This time the breaks went your way and you still found a way to lose. And that this game, credit to the ECU defense. This game was a lot closer than what it probably should have been because of this ECU defense. Bowing up and being what they are in the red zone.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. I mean, they're doing what they needed to do. But you got a 16-12 lead at the end of the third quarter, right? The fourth quarter is yours. You got a 4-point lead going. Those are the moments. Those are the games where it's like, okay, you turning a new leaf and really become the program that you want to become. You walk into somebody's building and you shut them out in the fourth quarter, which is something that we were able to do a lot of times last year at times. But when you're playing better competition, when you're playing a team that is good enough to win the conference, and you go into the fourth quarter with a lead, you've got to shut the door on that. And the fact that they outscored us 14-3 in the fourth quarter, and we just made mistake after mistake. What was it? What was the penalty? Was it a roughing the passer penalty that the driver?
It was a hands to the face.
To the face, which was just, I mean, that was the game right there. I mean, because we still actually had a chance.
Look,
and that was the game after that penalty.
You're trying to get a mobile quarterback down. I'm not going to hold that against Raheem Craig. Like,
no, that's just one of those things. It's like
it just happens. It's like, oh damn, like
the flag's got to be called, but it's like, man, that sucks.
Yeah, like come on, like that. Come on. I mean that, but really, it was some of the procedural penalties that, I mean, coming out of a bye week, you just, I mean, that first drive, you have it 3rd and 1, and you're trying to get the drive started. I mean, 3rd and 1, and you end up going 3 and out because you have a false start, which we talked about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago in the BYU game. So many false starts, right? And I believe this one was once again, it wasn't on a receiver, but it was on a tight end. If I'm remembering correctly, that was on Javante Connor. You just can't have that, right? That stalls. Like, you have it 3rd and 1, you're likely going to get the first down. And then ECU running the ball, like they couldn't run the ball at all in the first half. But what you saw was when they were able to start getting some runs going and picking up 6-7 yards, that's when it opened up the passing game. And that is what ECU is built to do. They need to be able to run the ball to open up some of those downfield passes and get the offense going in the tempo that they want to go. If you can't run the ball the way that they want to run the ball, they're just never going to get the offense going, which we saw week 1 against NC State, and that's what we saw last week.
Yeah, I'm trying to. What's the running back that came in, the redshirt freshman?
Engelman,
without a doubt, has earned some playing time going forward. I don't care what that coaching staff has to do. You get that man some touches going forward. Engelman was a man amongst boys for ECU on Thursday night. He absolutely deserves some touches going forward, if not the bulk of the touches going forward, because we got to get something right in that running game. Any kind of spark you can get, and he provided a spark.
I don't think that ECU has given a single running back a chance to make a claim to be that guy. If you look,
but I think if what you saw Thursday night could be the start of that. But you got to run with it. You got to let them go until the wheels fall off. Until, okay, this ain't working. You got to allow that to happen, because when you catch a spark, let it. We get some embers. Let it build into a fire.
Yeah, but like that, you saw it. I mean, you saw several guys get that. Marlon Gunn, when he comes in, he's good to get you several 6-7 yard rushes. Parker Jenkins, same thing. London Montgomery, very similar. Once they get going and figure it out, they start stringing some of these rushes together. and that's when things start happening. I thought we saw a decent game from Kane Hauser. It wasn't. We saw flashes of the Kane Hauser from
you got the
last year
experience in terms of the upside and the downside and the in between, all in one game.
I mean, he didn't turn the ball over, which is a good thing. But I mean, the fact that he was able to break some tackles, and that I thought he was down in the backfield on his rushing touchdown. I thought for sure that was going to be a loss.
Yeah,
and somehow he looked like I think I tweeted it. Looked like Johnny Manziel out there trying to evade tackles and just kind of bully his way into the end zone.
Yeah, no, this one sucks though because I mean you think about what this one could have done, right? To get you to 4-2, to get you to 2-0 in the conference, right? And to really kind of keep pace with the contenders going down the line. Because now, I mean, we're to the halfway point. Right?
Yeah.
Like, this is now when you start separating. Are you going to be a below 6-win team? Or are you just going to be a bowl team? Or are you actually going to be contending? This is where people start to separate. So that one would have gone a long way.
No, I agree. Luckily, I mean, you got this second half of the season, and there shouldn't be any game that you don't lose. The only one you're looking at is Memphis. You gotta line them up every week, but you still have time to make this season worthwhile.
Yeah.
You look at this team; they've got 3 losses, 2 of them by 1 score, and honestly, like, I don't know what Tulane and John Summerall was thinking with that clock management at the end of that game, like even giving the ball back to ECU, which, I mean, they at least got a shot at the end zone.
You heard what he said though. It was kind of one of those things. Was like we didn't have faith that ECU would get it done. He was like,
Yeah.
He literally said, if our defense can't stop them in 30 seconds, that speaks more on us than ECU. So he basically said we have no faith they're going to go down the field and score anyway.
The fact that they even got a shot at the end zone was impressive to me. So, but no, ECU had every chance to do something with it. I mean, you look at Josh, maybe you can explain it already. I don't know. That delay of game penalty, does anybody understand what happened there? I have no idea what was going on there.
All right, so here's what happens. ECU subs. For whatever reason, ECU subs. But we've already kind of gotten on the ball, so the center's on the ball. Being a former center, once you touch the ball, you basically can't move. Like, you can't get off the ball.
Okay.
So center's on the ball. Referee finally notices ECU has subbed, finally comes to the center to let him know, hey, hold the ball. In that, Tulsa defensive lineman lunges forward, right, as he's getting up to go back to his sideline. Our center, I think, thinks that this is like a possibility to get an offside, snaps the ball. Snapping the ball when the referee is holding you is an automatic delay of game, because it is seen as delaying the game because you are being told not to snap the ball and you snap the ball.
There's a ref is holding you there for a reason. Gotcha.
Right. So they called that a delay of game. ECU fans, and what I thought it was going to be was a disconcerting signal.
Has any of those penalties been called all year?
No, they have. Few, but they have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I just want to make one note about it. Yeah, I know you guys said The time management, clock management for Tulane was bad. I think ECU's clock management at the end was not good, though. To be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm not going to get into the step by step breakdown like I did to my wife the next morning, but I just did not like the way that game ended with the clock management.
No, I mean, it was a sloppy game on both sides at times. You had Tulane come out early and do whatever the hell they did. I mean, the fact that they only got 12 points out of that first half says a lot. And then for ECU to come back, they just couldn't keep their foot on the pedal. It was back and forth, a game of runs, and you have the game tied 19-19. I don't know, man. I feel like you just couldn't get off the field on those third downs. Like Tulane was 0 for 7 on third down going into that final drive, and then they converted 3 or 4 of them on the final drive, and that was what killed ECU. Also, they got a hell of a kicker. I think the guy has second most consecutive field goals made in the country.
Last thing I'll say on Tulane, though, shout out to them to still be that good of a program and play in front of 30 people, because that was embarrassing. That was an embarrassing turnout for Tulane. Your program is good, and you have an actually good program. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I look at it and I'm like, this is the cart that the American has to hitch their wagon to.
It's like there's nobody there,
and it's across the conference. It's across the conference.
Yeah.
Oh well, ECU's 3-3. It's a disappointing 3-3, which sounds crazy, thinking of where we were last year. I'm disappointed to be where we're at right now.
Yeah,
but you're through the toughest part of your schedule. To start the second, say that again.
No, I'm saying that is true. You played the 3 hardest teams you're gonna play already.
Yeah. And to start off the second half of the season, it always gets weird. This game is always weird. You look at the 2020 game, I don't even want to think about it. The Tulsa screw job. Then last year there was some craziness. But Artie, ECU Tulsa, this Thursday night at the Boneyard. Is that what we're calling it? Night at the Boneyard. Yep. Black it out. That's why I'm wearing my black. We're gonna have our good friends, longtime friends of the podcast.
Yes, sir.
Matt and Ryan from the Golden Hurricast join us. Matt, Ryan, welcome to the Boneyard podcast. How's it going, friends?
Hey guys, good to see you. Always love coming on your show, and appreciate the intro. Yeah, and man, it's been a long time we've been doing this thing now, so it's good to be back.
Yeah, I remember doing the first interview. I think I was in Colorado, like in a tiny house, and my Zoom just like wouldn't connect, and So we've come a long way.
I feel like I remember the Zoom problems, and I feel like I remember you being in Colorado when we did it.
Well, we're both here now. We both moved out here. So Matt's here. I moved out here back in 2022 or something, and Matt just moved out here last year.
Nice.
Well, I got family in Grand Junction and love getting out there. Beautiful area out there.
Oh yeah.
But cool guys. Well, I mean, Tulsa coming in this year. Y'all got both teams new head coaches. I feel like every team in the conference has a new head coach this year. Talk to us about Trey Lamb and what he's been doing down there in Tulsa.
Yeah, man. Fun start to the season. It's been up and down ride in Trey Lamb's first year here at TU. He's a young guy, just turned 36 a couple weeks ago. But despite him being young, this is his third head coaching job at 36 years old. He's been a head coach at Gardner-Webb, East Tennessee State, and now Tulsa, first FBS job here. So I think I speak for the fan base in general, where everybody still loves him. The 2-4 start has not throwing anybody off the trail or anything like that. The dude has a ton of energy. Not sure if you've listened to any press conferences with him or anything like that, but he just exudes it. Needed that. Had Kevin Wilson before, and you just don't get that level of energy from, sometimes from a guy like Kevin, who's a little older and just not that personality. So after moving on from Kevin Wilson last year, awesome to bring in a guy like Trey, who was just injected it right into the program. So that was awesome. 2-4 start is tough, but I think I heard you guys saying right before we came on, Tulsa's in a similar boat. We've played all our best opponents already, and ECU is one of them. ECU is kind of the cap to the kind of gauntlet first half of the schedule that Tulsa has played. We had to play Tulane, Navy. We thought Oklahoma State was going to be a little bit tougher. That they ended up being kind of a train wreck this year, but we got them. And then Memphis most recently, and that was a tough one. But after you guys, it's Temple, Florida Atlantic, Oregon State, who was terrible, Army, and UAB, who just fired their coach today or yesterday. I can't remember. Time's flying. So it gets a little easier after ECU, but ECU is kind of the fulcrum point where we switch from the very difficult first half of the schedule to the much more approachable, at least, second half. So that's how we're feeling. Kind of optimistic about the second half of the year. Feels like a whole new second season for TU, but the first half has been a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, it's been like night and day, I think, from Kevin Wilson era Tulsa to Trey Lamb. And, as much of a train wreck as Oklahoma State is this year, I think Trey earns a lot of goodwill, like getting that win, because Kevin Wilson couldn't do it. Philip Montgomery couldn't do it. And so going into Stillwater and coming out with the road dub is huge. And so I think that's kind of enough for Tulsa fans to be patient. I know there's a lot in this era of college football where it's like, well, what have you done for me lately? Which can hit like a first year head coach crazy enough, just with the portal and everything like that. And so I think that win will allow everybody to give him time to do what he needs to do to get his system in place.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what were like the immediate vibes right after that Oklahoma State win? Because basically the straw that broke the camel's back and getting Mike Gundy fired, and he's out basically the next day. And obviously, being we know something about being the little guy in the state. Obviously, you got OK State, Oklahoma in there. Like, what was the vibes like right after that?
Well, Matt was there in Stillwater, so I'll let Matt take that one.
Yeah, vibes were incredible for me at least. So my fiance went to Oklahoma State, and all her family is Oklahoma State alums. So I was there at the game with them. They all took it pretty well. Nobody was upset. I think there's been, for those who follow Oklahoma State, the cracks have been showing, whatever you want to say. And so nobody, I didn't get to rub it in, which, probably shouldn't do that to my future in-laws. But nobody was upset for exactly.
I'm married to a Carolina alum. You should.
The vibes were great. I was incredibly intoxicated for the game, which just made it way more fun. But it was also stressful. Oklahoma State was kind of moving the ball a little bit, kind of right at the end. And I was like, it would be just my luck to have this game ripped out in the last seconds. Yeah. But no, we pulled it off. And I was texting people that I hadn't talked to since school afterwards. It was that kind of do it on national TV on a Friday night. It was, probably, most fun that I've had watching the team since the 2020 season, maybe a couple games in 21. So,
yeah. And it was the first time we got that win in Stillwater since 1951. It had been a long time. It wasn't a pretty game by any stretch. Trey Lamb would tell you that. I think a lot of Tulsa players would tell you that on either side, but got that win. And that was a huge one for the program, especially in a first year head coach.
Can I just say, thinking about, I'm kind of switching subjects here, but staying on Tulsa, Oklahoma State, is there a more frightening mascot matchup than whatever the hell y'all have that
you don't love Gus T? You're telling me you're not a Gus T fan?
And then that cowboy thing that they have is something that you would see in your nightmares.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. It wasn't the prettiest mascot matchup, that's for sure. Me and Matt are still hoping TU will pull back Huffy, our old little fart cloud, little cloud guy who makes his way onto the social media sphere every now and then.
Yeah, I don't know. That is something of nightmares seeing those two face off.
Yeah.
But guys, I mean, starting out 2-4, you've shown glimpses. Of course, we talk about the Oklahoma State win. It looks like just on paper, you've got a decent running game. Maybe there's still some left to be desired on the passing game. Talk to us about this offense and talk to us about what Tulsa does well.
Yeah, well, not too much offensively so far this year. So might be a quick conversation. There is an interesting note, though. We've been kind of bouncing between two quarterbacks this season, between Baylor Hayes, who's a redshirt freshman, and Kirk Francis, who's the returner from last year, who's a redshirt sophomore at this point. And Kirk was the starter to start the year. He went down with a concussion against New Mexico State, and then he was out for a while. So Baylor was kind of running the show there. Baylor is the one who beat Oklahoma State. And they have totally different strengths. Like, all things equal, if the pocket's clean and we got an open receiver down the field, Kirk Francis is the better deep ball thrower. That's kind of the only advantage he has, though. I think in most other things, Baylor Hayes is the superior quarterback. He doesn't have the deep ball that Kirk has, but he's got a lot of action with his legs. He can get you out of a lot of sticky situations, which Tulsa has had plenty of so far this year, and Baylor can make something happen out of those. So when you've got a team with the makeup that I think TU has this season, Baylor kind of looks like the better quarterback. So this week, that question got asked, like, are we going to settle on a quarterback here, or is it going to be kind of back and forth for the rest of the year based on matchups and stuff? And Trey Lamb answered the question. It's Baylor it seems like it's Baylor for the rest of the year. He's going to be the guy. So redshirt freshman Baylor Hayes coming out. Like I said, doesn't have maybe the deep ball you look for in an experienced quarterback, but he's a young guy. He's getting better all the time. Got a lot of energy, a lot of moxie in him. Like him a lot. Can really make it happen with his legs. I think we've got, he can make things happen. So we maybe don't have the deep stuff with him, but we've got a lot of other things. And maybe most relevant to that is Zion Booker, who's had a couple injuries here and there so far this season, but man, that guy's electric with the ball in his hands. Number 0, definitely watch for him. We do a lot of quick stuff to him, which is why Baylor's going to get him the ball a lot, or he's going to try to. So look for Zion Booker. He's electric, came from Western Carolina, put up huge numbers there. And then outside him, it's like Micah Tease has been our best wideout. We haven't had much, like I said, in the deep passing game, but when it's been there, it's been Micah Tease, who's a Texas A&M transfer, and he's a really talented dude. And then our two tight ends, honestly, kind of have been the other two, Brody Foley and Landon Lucas. Brody Foley's a big rumbler. He's huge. You see him on the field. Against Oklahoma State, it stuck out immediately. He was the biggest dude against that whole Oklahoma State defense. And he's got a pretty awesome stat. His touchdown to reception ratio is 1-4. So for every 4 catches, he's scoring. He's got 12 catches, 3 touchdowns on the year for 220 yards and on those 12 receptions. So there's not a ton on the passing game that's been working, but I'll let Matt talk about the running game maybe, because that's been a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. I would say the strength right now, for whatever you can call it a strength, is definitely on the other side of the ball, not other side, but the other, the run game, whatever. And that's primarily been Dominic Richardson. He came most recently, transferred from Baylor. He was originally at Oklahoma State, but got, buried in the depth chart by Ollie Gordon, who had that phenomenal year 2 years ago. And so he went to Baylor, came to Tulsa. He was originally supposed to be part of probably a split backfield with Sevion Morrison. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Who tore his ACL the Thursday or Wednesday right before the first game of the season. So now it's pretty much Dominic Richardson's backfield with a little bit of AJ Allen, and you'll see Braylon Presley in the run game a lot. He is a wide receiver, but he's kind of, I would say, Tulsa's most electric playmaker in that he can just make things happen. And so one of Trey Lamb's goals, I feel like, on offense is give Braylon the ball, whether it be jet sweep, an end around, or a quick like a screen. Like he's going to be pretty active all over the field. But yeah, it was mostly Richardson, a little bit of AJ Allen for a change of pace. It's been pretty good so far. The last game against Memphis, we really didn't have much of a rushing game at all. Part of that is, when you go down by as much as we were very early in the game, you don't really have time to try and, set up the run game. The other issue that it has kind of been running into lately is our offensive line is new this year. So they're kind of just like still learning to work as a unit. But as Ryan said, we don't really have a deep threat right now to like pass the ball. And so that has, I think, over the last couple games made it a lot harder for Dominic Richardson to actually get the space to do stuff. So I think in order for us to succeed running going forward, we really need Baylor to like develop as a passer on the fly.
And I will add just quickly, and I don't know if it's going to happen this game, but it got called out in the press conference this week. So maybe there's a freshman running back on the team who got a ton of preseason hype from everybody named Kelvin Washington. As a guy who could like really make an actual impact this year as a young guy, even with Dom Richardson and Sevion Morrison, who was supposed to be kind of the 1B. He got called out a couple times in this week's press conference. I don't know if that means he's actually going to get some action against ECU, or I know they're trying to keep his red shirt, so he's already played in one game. He can only play in 3 more. Not sure if ECU is going to be the one, but that guy has a ton of talent, and we are kind of looking for a second running back to step up beyond Dom Richardson. So this might be a Kelvin Washington game, not sure, and we haven't seen him on the field too much, but that guy has gotten a lot of hype. So keep an eye out in case he gets on the field.
Yeah,
for sure. Real quick, I wanted to kind of go back to the receiving. Something that stands out to me on the receiving is you talk about Zion Booker. I mean, he's got 35 receptions, and the next most receptions on the team is 15. Is it something where we're only targeting at him? Like, what's going on there? Like,
yeah, I mean, we just haven't had the deep ball. We just don't. Neither quarterback. Like Kirk's been out so long that it's been a lot of Baylor, and when Baylor needs to establish himself in the passing game, he looks for the short stuff first. Like he's a younger guy. He maybe gets a little too quick to panic a bit when pressure starts coming to him. He's either going to try to escape and run, which he's, like I mentioned, he's pretty good at, or he's going to get it out of his hand as fast as he can. And when you got a guy like Booker, like he's good, man. Like that guy is really good, and he's an easy win. You get it out to him. He can try to make something happen. He hasn't broken a ton of big plays off those passes, but he's got the ability to do so. So I think it's mostly, we haven't had the deep receivers separate themselves from the corners, and so they're looking for something quick and easy. Zion is good, and he's always there. He's always somewhere close by, so he's kind of the security blanket alongside Brody Foley, and I think that's why you've seen those guys get so many more touches than they kind of have in past Tulsa offenses, where we're much more willing to kind of bomb it down the field.
Kind of flipping the sides on to defense. Who defensively players that you guys like throughout the first half of the season are some bright spots that could give ECU some troubles if we're struggling offensively? If you guys are game ready, coming out there, flying with a chicken with his head cut off. Who are those guys that can present some problems?
Man, I feel like the easy answer is probably Elijah Green at corner, because so right now he's got 5 interceptions, which I think is at least a share, if not outright, in the lead in FBS. He has made teams pay early, and I feel like that's kind of what he has thrived at. Like against Navy, he had 2 interceptions in the first quarter, or at least halfway through the second quarter, and he got his interceptions early against Memphis as well. So he's one that, while I would say our overall pass defense has not been a strength of the team, Green has made quarterbacks pay thus far this year. And so he's just electric to watch. He's also deflected handful of passes. He's got a fumble recovery. He's just kind of a turnover machine. So he at least creates some excitement and gives us some hope in the backfield.
Yeah, he is, dude. He is so good, and he sticks out on the field. He's big. He's 6'2". He's long. He looks like an NFL corner out there, and he's a sophomore. He's he was one of our kind of breakout guys last year as a true freshman, and he's continued that trend in a big way. Like Matt said, I think he might have lost the outright lead because we had a bye week last week, but going in, I don't know, maybe he still has it. But going into the bye week, he was number 1 in the country in interceptions. So Elijah Green, number 7, definitely keep an eye on him. There are some other bright spots too, like Ray Coney, our kind of starting linebacker. That guy is everywhere all the time. Number 0, you'll see him all game long. He is very good. He came with Trey Lamb from East Tennessee State. Really good player. Probably our, outside of the crazy interception stat line that Elijah Green has, I'd say Ray Coney's probably our most talented defensive player. It's like those two, I'd say. And then on the lines, there's some, like, our pass rush is good. Like Jaden Burnett, way up there in the nation in sack count. Byron Turner, really good player as well. Those two get after it. The defense has its bright spots. We get picked apart in the long term in like the mid-range passing game. So if Hauser is dealing like between the 10 and 15 yard passes, that's where we usually get eat up. So we will see. But the defense has some spots. The DC is obviously new this year too with Trey Lamb. He came with Trey from ETSU. It's Josh Reardon. Those two have been together for a long time. They know each other really well. They've usually had a pretty good combo of offense and defense between those two. So I think they'll get it figured out. It's not been awesome, but I think the defense has outperformed the offense so far this season. Neither have been stellar, but I'd say the defense has a leg up.
Yeah, and I'll just say, just to throw on some Jaden Burnett love. He leads the American in both tackles for loss and sacks with 8 and 6 respectively. And that 6 sacks is currently good for, I think, top 10 in FBS. So definitely a guy to keep an eye on.
Love it.
Nice. Those are the guys I had circled. That Elijah Green and is it Jaden?
Yeah, Jaden
Burnett. Yeah, and I was just checking. Elijah Green is tied for first in FBS for interceptions.
Yeah, man. I mean, he had 2 against Memphis. All of a sudden, we had a chance to like hang with him early. We could not make anything happen. That's been the story of the year. Like the offense is not. We've created plenty of turnovers on the defensive side of the ball, and the offense has just sputtered after him and not capitalized on him, which is obviously that's going to kill you.
All I'm going to say, just don't throw it his way. Caden,
Yeah.
if you see him over there, number 7,
Yeah.
Leave him alone.
let him.
Yeah.
That wide receiver's just not. Don't even look his way.
I love him, man. I know I mentioned it's like him and Ray Coney are probably the 2 most talented guys on that defense, but like personally, just from a fan perspective, he's my favorite guy to watch. He talks a lot of trash. He's big. He loves to get up in your face. Like I love that kind of thing in a corner, and he's all about it. He does not back away. He gets burned a lot. Don't get me wrong. He's got these picks. Sometimes he flies a little too close to the sun. He'll get burned every now and then. I'm sure you guys could take advantage of that. But man, if you throw it off just a little bit, he can take advantage.
Love that. So we talk about you've talked about like, yeah, we do these things. We're okay, but we're not good here. What is something that Tulsa has to do Thursday night if they want any chance of leaving Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium with a win?
Oh man, I mean, the easy one is you got to find the long ball. We haven't had it all year, even with Kirk, who can throw a prettier one. Neither quarterback's been able to do it, and that's not just on the quarterback. The receivers have not gotten separation. The guy who was supposed to be our wide receiver 1 coming into the year was a Mizzou transfer, kind of got buried in the depth chart behind Luther Burden and Theo Weiss and all these guys that they had over the last couple of years. Mekhi Miller. And he was a big name. I'm sure we gave him a bunch of NIL money to come here. And I know we didn't steal him from Mizzou because he was kind of buried, but I'm sure other people were asking about him because he got some game time at Mizzou. And if you can play in the SEC and put up some numbers, I'm sure you can play in the American. And he was supposed to be the guy kind of at wide receiver this year alongside Micah Tease. And he has just not been there. And we actually he's redshirting this year. And coach says it's a mutual thing, like Mekhi Miller was his name. He hasn't lived up to expectations. He's not playing as well as he wants. He's not playing as well as the coaches want. So he's sitting out the rest of the season. And who knows, maybe he'll transfer and we'll never see him in a TU uniform really make any notable plays, which is a real bummer. So we don't have the deep threat aside from a couple Micah Tease catches here and there. And that's been the killer for this offense. Like everything else has been serviceable. The running game has had games where it's been awesome. Sometimes it's been just kind of average. But it's like, I believe in Dom Richardson. That guy's awesome. The offensive line's been good enough to create some separation for him. The tight ends are good. The short pass game is awesome with Zion Booker. We just don't have the deep threat, and we don't have really the quarterback who can deliver them consistently either, even when those guys get some separation. So got to find some deep passes somewhere. But if we don't see us being able to keep speed up with ECU.
Yeah, and I'll just tack on protecting the quarterback. That has been something Tulane was really good about getting pressure, and Memphis was better than I thought they were going to be, which was not great since Kirk Francis was the starter. And he took, honestly, his best play of the game, he took a massive hit. Still scored the touchdown, but that was kind of it. And so if we're not going to protect the quarterback, I think we're going to have turnovers. Last week, we had 3 interceptions that Kirk threw. Baylor doesn't throw as many. I think he's only thrown 2, but that's not great. And part of that is because he's just scrambling a lot. And so our offensive line has just got to be better at protecting the passer, or else it's just going to be another long night.
Awesome. Well, guys, I don't think I have anything else. It's one of those. Y'all are so good at giving. I feel like I went on y'all's show and it was just like
the analysis was great.
Yeah, but no, appreciate y'all coming on. Tell everybody where they can find your stuff.
Yeah, sure. Mostly we've got a website that has links to everything. So that's usually the easiest thing to point people to, thegoldenhurricast.com. But we're on all the stuff. We're on X. We're on Blue Sky. We've got a Discord these days. We've got a Patreon, all that. So check us out on our website. You'll find links to all those things if you're interested. That's thegoldenhurricast.com.
Love it, guys. Well, always a pleasure. One of these days we're going to get to a game where but all of us can be there. Maybe we'll come out to Tulsa. I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know that we'll play each other next year. I think it's the end of our time together in the conference for a little bit. Which, admittedly, I'm not ashamed to say that I'm glad to see that. Like I said, crazy shit happens in this game.
Yeah, dude. I know we talked about it a little bit in when you were on our show, but the last 3 games I think have been like 4-point games or less. Like it's not even been a touchdown. It's been like right there, and those have been some bad teams here and there on both sides, and it's crazy.
It's like not even looking at the 2020, which I know is a whole different beast, but like 2 years ago, I'm pretty sure, like if I'm remembering it, you guys just needed to like kneel. And Mike Houston decided to go for a run and then fumbled it, and then we scored like a field goal or something. It was
and
like, now really stupid.
Now you wonder why he's got an unpaid position on the Clemson staff rather than being the head coach at East Carolina University. No, that's like I remember there was ECU fans made it a meme. Your coach a couple years ago, like shaking the referee's hand, like at Dowdy. Like it's just every year there's something
with ECU Tulsa,
and it's always a Thursday night, Friday night game
in October, or something like that. Yeah,
those games always get weird, anyways, and it's just like,
hey man,
we're like, we got Tulsa. Like let's hopefully nothing weird happens, but.
No, man, with how the teams are looking, with how you guys are looking so strong, relatively, and how we are not, we need some weird stuff. We need some weird stuff to go down in this one. Thursday feels like it.
We call everybody friends of the podcast that come on and talk to us. And that game in 2020 was the first time that it made us flip somebody from being a friend of the podcast to an enemy of the podcast. Was that Mike Oresco?
Yes, I remember. I was like, yeah, that was an Oresco thing. Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah. So, no, guys, appreciate it. Best of luck after this week.
Yes.
Go get them. But yeah,
likewise.
Hopefully we can see an ECU victory this weekend, and then y'all can go win out. Go win every single game after that.
Hey man, I would say it's on the table and not impossible, but yeah, I feel the same. Appreciate you guys for having us on. Always fun, and I like ECU's team. I know I said it to you, Jared, when you were on ours. I like your team this year. I think you got a real chance to maybe do what you just said to us, like win out this thing, see how it goes. I like the talent. I like Blake Harrell. I think that was a good hire. So best of luck.
Josh, what's going on?
I just wanted to say I do still have Tulsa winning more than 2.5 games. So I need at least one more before the end of the year.
There's got to be one in there, you know? God, if we
There's
don't win
gotta be
another one,
one.
I'm quitting this podcast.
If we don't beat UAB this year, that's
Oh.
going to be bad.
Oh yeah,
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 that's right.
it's for
That's
different. They'll
Yeah.
forget debacle. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Florida Atlantic looks beatable.
Yeah. FAU.
UAB,
every team left is beatable.
Yeah. Like I said, we
Ten-
got the first half done. That was tough. The first half was Tulane, Memphis, Navy, Oklahoma State was, whatever, but they're Power 4. And then it's like you guys, and after you guys, it's a clean break. It's like season number 2 is here, and let's do this thing.
it's kind of how we feel. I mean, Army's honestly probably the toughest game you got on your schedule the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think by a lot.
Yeah.
Well, Temple looks pretty good. We'll see.
Yeah, they got to. I like their head coach.
Me
Looks
too.
like he's in the mob, but I like his head
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah, I like him too.
But cool guys, we'll catch you on the other side. Maybe we'll talk some American Conference basketball or something later on in the year.
Yeah. Sounds great,
All right,
man.
guys.
Always appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. Bye y'all.
See ya.
Once again, Ryan and Matt from the Golden Hurricast. Always love catching up with those guys.
Yes,
They were
Good insight.
kind enough to have me on their show earlier. That's why we're a little bit late going tonight. But all in all, it feels we kind of started the podcast around the same time. Their podcast, our podcast started around the same time, and it was something where we've collabed, we've been in different podcast groups with them ever since the beginning. And so always love catching up with those guys.
I had similar struggles as a program.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Their pain, they understand ours. So yeah.
All right. Let's see what we got next. We doing walk the plank.
I guess that's up next. That's on the board. Walk the plank and
We got walk the plank and gambling corner. A walk the plank. Let's see. Do we have any?
The clock management at the end of the Tulane game.
Yeah. Wasn't crazy about it on either side, but shout out John Summerall. If you took my bet last week, I wish it wasn't true, but Tulane covered, and I think I said, did I say I think I said the under, which I believe hit. So shout out your boy, but also shout out to John Summerall throwing a touchdown pass, 30 seconds left in the game.
On the exact same play as before the time.
Yeah, it was the same play. That almost pissed me off.
For
was
the exact same yard.
Like it was this weird, like I don't know, like a weird QB
it was
rollout.
it was
type.
just a boot. Yeah, it was just a bootleg rollout.
But the way that Retzlaff rolled out looked backwards.
Yeah, that's the point.
But no, I don't know.
No. I get what you're saying. Like he rolled out to the opposite side of what you would expect.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly how the play
Both
was.
times. And I
That's
was like,
exactly how
and
it's
then he threw it. I was like, what are we doing? Same play. Even my casual college football mind could catch that.
Crazy work.
All right. My walk the plank. Trent Dilfer, walk the plank, dude. Like, not to dance on anybody's grave. That man.
the writing was on the wall.
The fact the fact that James Franklin and Trent Dilfer were fired within 24 hours of each other is absolute insanity to me. The fact that James Franklin went from being a coach that had his team in the top 5 in the country to being out of a job in 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Is absolute craziness, considering Trent Dilfer had a job at the same time that James Franklin had a job, and they got fired on the same day. That is wild.
That's college football in a nutshell. That is college football.
UAB had to make room for James Franklin.
James Franklin's going to end up at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Virginia Tech, Arkansas, UCLA.
Yeah, no, I think James Franklin's going to be at Virginia Tech. That makes too much sense.
I can see Arkansas as a better fit, but
I don't
definitely going back to the SEC. They're not keeping Bobby Petrino on Arkansas.
I always forget that he was where, Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
But see, Vanderbilt, it's not really the SEC. Come on.
And neither is Arkansas.
I mean, it's more SEC than Vanderbilt.
It's definitely more SEC than Vanderbilt. But
I mean,
culturally, sure.
It's still a bottom tier SEC team. So what are we talking about?
Where does Penn State go?
That's really the question. Kurt Signetti, do they try that?
But why would Kurt Signetti leave?
I didn't say he would leave. All I said was,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, who do they try to get? Because
they're going to call.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
who else do you get?
If I'm Kurt Signetti and I get that call, I'm hanging up. You've got too good of a thing going at Indiana. You don't need.
Even if you take Indiana to heights unknown, which they're already at, you're never going to have the pressure at Indiana that you would have at Penn State.
Exactly.
You have to go to Penn State day one immediately.
And then Signetti,
Man, he's already proven he can do it.
Yeah, but Signetti,
Indiana, you don't need to go to Penn State.
This is his like, okay, I'm gonna be here for a couple more years, and then I think he's because he's up there in age. Like, I think this is his final stop. I don't see him being a guy that wants to coach into his 70s.
If Penn State were smart, they would get Casey Keeler from Temple.
State College might burn down if they go get a first-year head coach from Temple.
Out of the American.
He's not a first-year head coach.
Yeah, but like at the FBS level.
Right. Having one decent season at the FBS level.
And it's not even like a decent season at the FBS level.
State, yeah, no, we got to stop that. No. Got to put it a few years first.
Alex Golish?
Golish will be a good one.
Ryan Silverfield, though. I think Silverfield fits better in terms of scheme for Big 10. I can see Golish better fit at Oklahoma State than I do at Penn State.
The problem with the Penn State job is the guy they just fired had them in the semifinal last year.
Yeah.
The immediate next hire has to be someone that's winning national championships. If you're going to fire somebody who was just in the semifinal. So
is there any world,
honestly,
is there any world where they can hire an active
NFL head coach? No.
I think I'm thinking SEC.
SEC assistant or SEC?
No, like a head coach.
Nah.
Not mid-season.
No, I'm not saying mid-season. Like after this year.
Oh yeah.
You think
Lane could go?
I don't think Lane's going.
Well, no, Lane's not going. But I'm saying
like a Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly's not doing that.
I can see it, but Brian Kelly hasn't done enough at LSU.
That's what I'm saying.
But he's done it. He's done enough in his career, but also, I think he's more culturally fit.
That's a lateral move. James Franklin and Brian Kelly is a straight line.
Yeah, well, who the hell are you getting? You're not getting Kirby Smart or Nick Saban to come out of retirement to go to Penn
They
State.
should have fired James Franklin.
They shouldn't
I'll be
have.
honest with you.
I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Like, I get it. You lost 3 games in a row. How do you fire this coach? He had you in a semifinal, 1 play away from the national championship game last year, and had you in a top 5 as a top 5 team 3 weeks ago. Yeah, you lost to UCLA. That was a terrible loss. But like, I don't know,
Manny
man.
Diaz.
It's a sneaky good one. That's a sneaky good one. I mean, anybody can go to Duke and succeed with relevant success. That's pretty
I'll
good.
be
I
so
mean,
mad.
you see what Mike Elko has parlayed that into,
Right.
because and it's literally the same move from defensive coordinator to head coach at Duke back to the school you were DC at.
Yep.
It's the exact same play.
Yeah, Diaz is a good one. I like that.
It's the exact same play.
He's not going to be at Duke for much longer. He's going to get to a higher role at some point. He's still got a bad.
You know how
taste.
mad I'm going to be if James Franklin ends up at NC State?
Nah, he'd go to VTech before NC State.
What if he goes to UNC?
I don't know that anybody's going to UNC after the shit show that they've been.
I think that's a nuclear bomb. I think people might stay away from UNC for a few years.
That you want to talk about walk the plank? The drama surrounding Bill Belichick, Jordan Hudson, and everybody else in the Carolina. I mean, from Bill outright saying basically we don't tweet anything about the Patriots until, and then like people basically bullying the UNC football admin into tweeting about Drake May, the only thing that is going for them in the NFL right now. That's insane. And then like, did they have to go, like, who's making that call, right? Is it something that, Jordan Hudson is saying like, hey, like Bill said, don't tweet about this. And now somebody's like, hey, like people are talking shit online. We kind of have to tweet about him. Can we do it? And they're like, yeah, make one video. What's going on there? Or, it comes out last week that Bill is putting some feelers out that he's looking for a different job, trying to figure out what's going on. Then it comes out that, hey, there's some maybe NCAA violations that are going on in Carolina, which, I mean, it's nothing new there in Chapel Hill. They all know about how to violate the NCAA and all that. I mean, you got players allegedly selling their game tickets. That's an NCAA violation. And then they have an assistant coach that's got some kind of recruiting violation now. It's a complete shit show in Chapel Hill, and I am here with my popcorn to watch it.
Lack of institutional control.
Come on, Bubba. Carolina's going to need to schedule a marquee game. John Gilbert should be on the phone with them.
But also, don't forget that UNC's like former board of trustee member or whatever is suing the school and telling them not and asking for an injunction for them to stop deleting messages. Like, what is going on? That's also
it is
athletics related as well. Like that's not even.
Well, there's also the thing about that the board of trustees didn't vote to hire Bill Belichick. That's out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
that's all right. Like, in the same. Yeah,
it's the same thing as the board of trustees thing that you're talking about. But like this guy's saying that, hey, we as the board of trustees didn't vote to like give this guy a contract. I don't know how a school with a law school like they have, and the money that they have, has so many problems across the entire athletic department. They are a walking shit show everywhere. And I'm just like, it's like the one time ECU fans and NC State fans are like kumbaya kumbaya. Jeez, Jared. Like, keep going. Keep driving that car off a cliff. Can you go any faster? I love it. Carolina walked the plank. Artie, anything you have?
Walk the plank wise, yeah, Michigan getting their ass whooped on Saturday night in Los Angeles. Walk the plank to that. So that was an awful game to watch.
Another one, and I'll be honest, I wasn't watching the game at the time. Kirby Smart calling a timeout, saying he was clapping.
Yo, that's that. I was watching that live.
Times in that game.
I was watching that live. That was the wildest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
When I watched it back,
like you saw clear as day the kind of like the privilege that some of these coaches get, some of these programs get.
And he was like him trying to like show that that's how he claps.
It's like, come on, man.
Like, come on, bro. It honestly felt
somebody's intelligence that much is laughable.
He was doing the cup hand clap. Like he had to do it like he was like, I was clapping like this.
Oh,
like, man. Give me a break. And it that had vibes of 2020 ECU Tulsa.
It did.
All right. Any others? I think we're good. Gambling corner. Let's go.
All right. I mistyped this one. Hold on 1 second. The first one up, we've got Temple on the road at Charlotte this weekend. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure that's what that said, but I had typed Temple and Temple.
These schools have a combined fan base of 12.
Yeah, Temple at Charlotte. Temple 440 outright, 11.5 point favorite at Charlotte, plus 340 at home, 11.5 point home dog. They're saying 2 touchdowns, kind of. Home field advantage though. 47.5 is the over under. The over is going to hit just because it's Temple. But yeah, I'm going to have Temple winning it outright. And I'm also going to have to take Temple to cover.
Yeah, I'm taking Temple to cover. Did you take the over? I think I'm going to take the over here.
Had to take the over.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a lock. I picked against Temple last week. I was wrong. I picked Navy. They proved me wrong. So, yeah, Temple over. Cover.
Yeah, Temple. Yeah, they average like 20, a little over 27. So, yeah, I think that's going to be a good one. Next game up is our regional matchup. Number 5, Ole Miss, undefeated, goes on the road at one state over, plus 220, 7-point road dog at the Georgia Bulldogs, number 9, minus 270 overall. The over-under is 54.5. I'm calling Georgia 2-loss just because Auburn should have won that game. They shouldn't have had that timeout.
I guess I'll take this one. Give me Georgia money line, Ole Miss cover, over.
Okay.
I feel like it's going to be a tight game there in Athens.
Yeah, don't let that Washington State game fool you. Ole Miss is still a really good football team. They just kind of laid an egg last week. I think Georgia's fraudulent. I agree. I think Georgia should have lost that game at Auburn. Give me Ole Miss. Give me Georgia to cover. Excuse me. Give me Ole Miss to cover because they're +7. So give me Ole Miss to cover, obviously, and then give me. I'm gonna take the under.
Ooh, I was about to say me and Artie are on the same path. I'm gonna have to go Ole Miss as well. I think Georgia doesn't have a home field advantage right now. Just because they got a big stadium doesn't mean there's an advantage to it.
Right.
And I'm gonna have to take the over because I think Ole Miss gets a little bounce back here, and I think Georgia's offense kind of finds a little bit of a rhythm moving into this week. The next game, sorry to bring it up again, but USC ranked number 20 against Notre Dame, who was ranked number 13, and just mollywopped NC State.
Sure.
USC is plus 270, 9.5-point road dog. Notre Dame minus 340 outright. The over-under is 61.5. Who are they kidding?
A lot of points. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take this one. I think this is going to be an excellent game. I think this could be game of the week. I think USC is pretty good, but I got to go with the team that's at home. This is at Notre Dame. Pretty sure this is a night game. Give me Notre Dame. Give me USC to cover, and give me the under.
You said Notre Dame money line, USC to cover.
USC to cover. Yeah, I think they cover that 9.5.
It is a night game, 7:30 kick.
Yeah. If this is in LA, I'd probably pick USC, but it's in South Bend.
I'm kind of on the same wavelength. If this was in LA, I think I'd be taking USC money line. Notre Dame, USC to cover. I'm taking the over.
Notre Dame, USC to cover, but the under 61.5. That's a lot of points from Notre Dame.
But
I think they get close, but I don't think they hit that 60.
here's where my head's at. You look at the games that Notre Dame has lost, and Notre Dame's put up points all year.
Yeah.
I think that this could be now I can watch me turn around this game end up being like 10-7. But
it has 30, 28, something like that written all over it.
I think that this game has I could see like a 35-30 game, something like that.
Which USC averages 32 points a game. Notre Dame averages 35. So I can see what you're saying. I can see what you're saying there.
College football casual.
And then our game of the week. Tulsa makes the long drive down 40 and then takes that exit on the 87.
God bless them if they're driving.
587 all the way down to Greenville, North Carolina, where they are plus 550 outright, 16.5-point dog still. ECU is minus 800 outright, and the over-under is 54.5. I feel like Vegas really believes in ECU in this one.
The first half spread is ECU minus 9.5, which is wild given some of our first halves. I'm gonna say I already said it on the Golden Hurricast podcast. I've got East Carolina to cover, and I'm taking the under on this game.
Yeah, this has got to be a get right game. This has got to be a get back game. So obviously ECU wins this game. I'm gonna take the under because I don't think Tulsa's gonna put up a lot of points, but I do think Tulsa covers. ECU should absolutely win this game by 3+ scores. They won't. They'll win this game by like 13.
Yeah, East Carolina outright, ECU to cover, and the over. I think that this game is one where ECU's defense just does what they do. and ECU's offense, even though it might not be great, finds some type of rhythm in all 4 quarters. And it might not even be consistent throughout all 4 quarters. It might be the first 4 minutes, the first quarter, the last 4 of the second quarter, first 4 of the third quarter, last 4 of the fourth quarter. But regardless, we're going to see action in all 4 quarters. Give me the over.
All right. There you have it. Anything else y'all would like to add? All right. Make sure you follow us at Boneyard Podcast, at the Boneyard Podcast on TikTok. We didn't even mention, I should have mentioned at the top of the show, Roback, still 20% off when you use Boneyard20 at roback.com on your first order. So go to Roback, get you, the ECU gear. I'm not rocking it. I need a new AC unit in my house, and it is feels like a damn near 100 degrees in my house right now. So go get it so I can afford a new HVAC system. That's why we need y'all to support the podcast. No, I'm kidding. Support the podcast, but also go buy Roback, and we'll put all that money back into the program, back into ECU. All right. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, wherever. Subscribe, leave us a 5-star review. Artemis, if they don't,
walk the damn plank.
And then make sure you follow us and subscribe on YouTube. Hit that notification bell. Give us a thumbs up. Turn on those notifications if you haven't already on social media, on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Hit that notification bell. Get notified every time we tweet, every time we come to you live. We love talking to y'all, and thanks for all your support, Pirate Nation. We'll see you next week. Artie, let's get out of here.
As always, Pirate Nation, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Support these Pirates come Thursday night as we get right against Tulsa. Wash your hands, wash your butts, folks. Deuce.
Go damn Pirates.